Hello everyone and welcome back to Chef Sherry's Plant-Based Kitchen. Today is a special day for us at the Vegan Volunteer Corps. We have received our new t-shirts and I'm proudly wearing it to show you today. We've got our heart-shaped vegetables here and all of our volunteers who go to the shelter once a month to serve our plant-based meal to our friends at Lincoln Park Community Services Shelter will be wearing their shirts now, so we're excited about that. One of our dear members called me yesterday with some very sad news, and I want to tell you what we're making today because it has to do with this sad news. So my friend who is a loyal volunteer at VVC has a sister who has been battling cancer for quite some time, and she went into remission, which was wonderful. But sadly, the cancer is back and it's even worse than before. So she's getting ready to start a new round of chemotherapy that is going to take its toll on her body and her mind and her soul. So my friend asked, do you think it's possible for the Vegan Volunteer Corps members to provide soups and some, easy foods that she can have in her freezer when she's able to eat, to pull out? Because she hadn't been plant-based before, but she watched the documentary Forks Over Knives with my friend Ilana, and she is going to try to eat plant-based now with her cancer treatment. It's a good thing to do in any situation, but we know that the foods that she is going to be eating will not help to grow her cancer, so that is a good thing. So she's cutting out all the foods that may have been somewhat responsible for the condition that she's in now. But anyway, what I decided to make is called a white vegan lasagna, and I've had this recipe for ages and I've never made it, but my friend thought her sister might enjoy this, so I'm going to make it today. And it's by Nora Cooks, who is a wonderful recipe creator. I make a few little changes here. We're not using olive oil, as you know. I don't cook with oil. And she calls for a can of white beans, which would be fine, but I don't know, there's something about that in a lasagna doesn't sit right with me. So she said substitute things like mushrooms or zucchini. So I cooked a bunch of mushrooms down, and that's what we're going to use instead of the beans. So I want to show you how easy it is to put this together. The first thing I did was I made the vegan Alfredo sauce, and it's right here. And I did taste it. It is yummy. And it's composed of cashews, onion, garlic. I used a plant milk, nutritional yeast, lemon juice, and a little bit of salt. And you put it into your Vitamix blender, and voila, very easy to make. Then we had to make our cashew vegan ricotta, made with cashews, and this is what it looks like. This is our ricotta. It's made with tofu, cashews, lemon juice, salt, nutritional yeast, basil, oregano, and garlic powder. So you have to get these things done ahead of time, as well as I cooked up my lasagna noodles. You can use any kind of lasagna noodle you like, whole wheat, rice, chickpea, whatever you find. So let's go ahead and assemble this. And then I didn't preheat the oven. I'm going to preheat it to 400 degrees. So it should be ready when we're done. And this is what we're going to do. So I'm following the directions. So we're going to spoon a 1/4 cup of the Alfredo and spinach. So we have spinach here too. So a 1/4 cup of this. Make sure I've got this right. Okay, a 1/4 cup of this on the bottom of our pan. And then some spinach. I'm just going to shake it around a little. I'm going to put a little bit more out. Sort of a thick sauce, but I'm going to let it sort of drip down here a little bit so it covers the bottom. And so I'll take my little spoon and I'll help it along here. Just coat the bottom. We got a little spinach going here. Got a lot of spinach. You use 6 cups of fresh baby spinach. Let's put some more in. Spinach is good for us. Okay, that's the first step. So we coated the bottom with the sauce and a little bit of spinach. Next, let's see what's next. Layer 4 noodles on top. So let me get some noodles. Oh, I hope they're not going to stick on me. This could be an issue. Okay, we'll do 4 noodles. I cooked these ahead of time. Oh my goodness, I don't know. I should have done something different with these guys. Okay, I think we're going to let's get another one in here. 4 noodles there. Okay. Then add half of the vegan ricotta, so we'll take that. Half of this out, and I'll spread it around. I've always wanted to make this. She makes an excellent red lasagna as well, Nora, but I've never tried this one, so I'm excited to see what this is going to taste like. It's just a little bit of prep work, but once you get that done, it's really not so bad. I'm just trying to spread this a little bit all over the noodles. My hands are clean, they've been washed, so excuse me using them for a moment. Okay, that's one side. Next step. All right, so we're going to do half of the mushrooms now. Love mushrooms. Put those, let's try to spread them out a little bit more. There we go. Oh, that helps to move the sauce around because they're a little bit still wet from sauteing them. And I just saute the mushrooms in water, just a drop of water, because they give off their own juices and you want them to be dry when you add them in. Okay, so we did that. And then a third of this Alfredo sauce, so that's a lot of this. Let's see how much we're going to use here, a third of it. So we're going to just pour, that much. I'm going to spread that out. Wow, that looks pretty good, wouldn't you say, Dale?
Yep.
See how this comes out. Okay, now, all right, add another bunch of noodles. So we'll do that next. See if I can unravel these. Got a little sticky. That's the problem when you make them ahead. Try not to rip them. So I made 12 noodles in all. That should be plenty. And I think this dish will be sort of easy to digest. She can't have anything with like spicy stuff in it, no tomatoes. Those are not things that she's allowed to eat while she's going through the chemo. Okay, then the rest of the ricotta, which is over here. Okay, here goes the ricotta, the rest of it. I'm going to do it a little different. I'm going to space it out this time. Again, I wish you could smell when I'm cooking because it really has a nice smell to it, all of these things I've been putting together here. So here's the last of the ricotta, and I'm going to try and move it around with this spoon. Move it around so it covers nicely. Yeah, that's working nicely. I find cooking to be very relaxing. I know not everyone does, but it's a very therapeutic thing for me. I get to think and just be by myself, basically in the kitchen, which I just sort of enjoy. Let me get the rest of this off of here because we don't want to miss any of the goodness. Okay, we got it all. Got that. Now, the next step. Okay, half the blah, blah, blah. Rest of the beans. Okay, so the rest of the mushrooms. Spread those guys out. I think I could have even used more mushrooms, but it'll just give it a little mushroom taste, which is fine. Okay, now let's see what's next. Then we do a third of more of the Alfredo sauce with the spinach. I'm going to save a lot for the top. Just a little drop more. Ooh, that looks so saucy. There's that. Maybe a little drop over here. And then we're going to add more spinach. Might have too much spinach here. She said 6 cups. I'm not sure how that's going to work. Let's see. Okay. Then the rest of the noodles. And then I guess, oh, these noodles are sort of falling, but that's okay. It all tastes good when it hits the stomach, right?
That's right.
Yeah, these are sticking a lot. 2, 3. And we'll fit these in as we can. They're not so great, but we'll do this. Move this one over. I'll stick this one here. That looks okay. Well, it's not the prettiest, but it'll work. And one more. And then we take the rest of our, put more spinach here. And I'm going to cover it with that sauce. I'm not going to use 6 cups of spinach. It's too much. Got too much going here. Then I have to cover this with the rest of the Alfredo sauce and spinach. Okay, so let's cover it up. Get out my little helper here. And it says you can add like the vegan, mozzarella cheese on top, but I don't use that stuff generally, so we're not going to do that. I don't think it needs anything else. This is going to be nice and saucy and delicious. Try and grab all of this goodness out of here. Throw that little spinach piece in. Get all the sauce I can. Cover up that little piece of spinach there. And that's all there is to it. So we have to bake it uncovered just for about 25 minutes at, I think it was, let's see, what did we preheat, to 400 degrees. She said not to even cover it, so I'm going to watch it though to make sure it doesn't get too brown on the top or burnt. And that's it. So let me just clean this up a minute. Myself too. And here it is, the vegan white lasagna. Pretty. So I'm going to put it in the oven as soon as it preheats. And I'll put this recipe on the site so you can see how to make it. Again, the only thing that's hard is the prep time, and if you want to forget the mushrooms, you can always add a can of like a white bean, like a Great Northern bean, into this lasagna. And then you put it in the oven and voila, it's done. So thank you to all of the Vegan Volunteer Corps members who are stepping up. They always do, to help this person going through her chemotherapy and transitioning to eating a whole food plant-based diet. I have the best volunteers in the world in my Vegan Volunteer Corps, and I just am blessed to know all of you and to have you. So thank you so much, and we will get this done for this lady. Take care, everybody, and see you next time back in my kitchen. So long for now.